I found my lump by total chance. It was the beginning of July 2017. I was diagnosed by the end of July and I started my treatment, which was the first point of treatment was chemo. I started that on August the 22nd, I think it was, 2017. So I had chemo until December 2017. I had operation on January 2018, started radiotherapy March 2018, and was sort of done by the end of April. And yeah, I started running on the 1st of May 2018, couch to 5K.
Welcome back, podcast legends, episode 16, and this one is ram-packed, full of inspiration from a woman who I'm so pleased I've met through Instagram. She's called Rebekah. She is telling her story through social media and here today on this podcast about how she has gone from a woman who discovered she had breast cancer in 2017 to now about a month away from running the London Marathon. And it's just full of inspiration. You'll hear her tell her story. She's not someone who's been a runner, been into exercise. She has her reasons for doing the London Marathon, which she shares with us today. And she has written blogs about her experience throughout the chemotherapy and the treatment she received as she got over this breast cancer, thankfully. You can go to her blogs to read all that. Today we talk more about her fitness side of things, what made her decide to do this London Marathon, what it's all about, how it's changed her life as a mother of 2 sons and a wife as well. Fascinating story that I hope gives you some renewed energy today and maybe a different perspective to look forward for as you head into whatever's next in your life. Thanks for listening. As always, subscribe and review. We're here every week, twice now. I'm enjoying it. I hope you are too. I hope today helps. Thank you, Rebekah. Thank you. Hello, Rebekah.
Hi,
How are you, my dear?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. I know you just said you got the boys off to football.
Well, they've just come back from football, so I've got Dad to bring them home and then wham them off to Sainsbury's Cafe for a treat lunch.
Yes. So I've got you for a few minutes, have I?
Yeah, you got me for a good few minutes, hopefully.
Excellent. So we need to understand, for anyone who doesn't know you yet, who you are, mate. Who are you? Where are you? What's your story?
I am a mum of 2 from Leicester, originally from down south, down your way, but living in Leicester now. Got 2 boys, under 5, and what can I say? It sounds like a soap opera gone wrong. So in like the last 5 years, 6 years even, I've got married, moved here, had cancer. My mum's died recently, and now I'm running the marathon. So it's like everything's happening in a 5-year chunk for me. So it's a bit mad.
It's all been going on.
Yeah.
But you're in Leicester.
Yeah.
Leicester, mother, blogger.
Yeah. I try. What else do I do? I work.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a bit of in the NHS.
Oh, awesome. What did you say you did?
Marketing.
Marketing.
I'm not frontline.
Yeah, but that's probably a job in itself.
Yeah, it's hard because because the budgets are so tight. It's very much don't promote this, because we don't want too many people coming in because our service is already overrun. I'm in sexual health as well, so there's lots and lots to promote of what we do, but we're told like don't do too much because we don't want too many people in the clinics because then we're like the waiting times are ridiculous and we have to turn people away and get them to come back within 48 hours and things, and it just isn't a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine. But your job is essentially to let us know you do that.
Yeah.
Fun.
Controlled marketing.
Yeah. But that's what it's all about, isn't it? We don't know otherwise. What about your fitness history? Obviously, I'm here as a fitness man. I'm interested in that.
Fitness has always been a bit hit and miss. I was like mad for it at school, and I was really good at school all the way up to 18. I sort of danced, was in athletics, sort of all the school sports, loved it, did PE GCSE, then went to uni and it fell off and it totally disappeared. And then I've sort of been on the diet yo-yo bandwagons of, Weight Watchers, Slimming World, calorie counting, under 800 calories a day, and all that sort of bump to try and get off the weight that I put on at uni and more. Since the cancer, and even during my cancer, I didn't really change my diets and stuff too much. I just sort of survived. And most people, I know a lot of people go sort of health mad when they know they've got cancer and sort of find out about all the different things. And people telling me about the alkaline diet and don't eat this, don't eat that, eat this. And for me, it was just like, I can't take this on, as well as getting through chemo and all the other sort of emotional aspects of it. It was just too much.
I'm really fascinated as to what made you put your running shoes on initially. How did that first run feel? That first, so you've downloaded the app, that's one thing, but got your shoes on, but what you feeling then?
I was actually looking back through, because one of my story highlights on Instagram is the Couch to 5K journey. So it shows you from the first run to sort of the end of it and then onwards. So I was sort of looking back at that and I couldn't even remember some of it, but I can hate the thought of it. Like when you see like run 30 seconds, walk 2 minutes and all that sort of thing, you think, oh God, at first you think that's easy. That's fine, 30 seconds, that's okay. And then you go and try and do it and you're like, oh my God, I can barely breathe. This is awful. My legs hurt. How on earth am I going to do 30 minutes of non-stop running? But that app, I think I don't know if it is from the NHS, that app, the One You app that does Couch 5K is brilliant, where you can pick your coach. So you've got like Joe Wiley, Michael Johnson, and various other people. Oh, I think Sarah Millican does it as well. You can pick your coach who talks in your ear. They talk to you at various points. That for me was what kept me going. And you get a little sort of tick sheet on your phone that you follow through. That keeps you motivated to go out 3 times a week. It's very easy to do. It's very accessible. You just need the time. And obviously I know with people with kids and stuff, that's where your problem comes, is that you've got to wait to certain points of the day to go out. But because I did mine in the summer and it was lighter for longer, I found that helped. As in with like the marathon training now, in training for a spring marathon, you find out that you've got to do a lot of training in the winter where it's dark all the time and you don't want to go out. So if people are thinking of doing it, I would say get the app and think about when you're trying to position it in your life and work out when you can maybe try and fit in half an hour a day to get the things in. But it's really doable and it's really enjoyable. Once you get to sort of week 4 or 5 with it, you start believing in yourself a lot more. And I had Michael Johnson talking in my ear, and by the end of it, I felt like, he's my brother. Like, oh wow, I love it. Michael Johnson, he's aspirational and inspirational himself, but just nice, really nice to complete and to do.
Yeah. At what point in the Couch to 5K did you think, I'm going to escalate this to the marathon? Sorry,
Well, we'd already entered the ballot before I'd even started it.
Right.
So it was sort of, I entered the ballot and started the Couch to 5K the day after, but then I forgot about the London Marathon. It was never about that. It was about doing the 5K, running 5K without walking for me. So sort of achieved that by mid-June. And then from there, I was like, right, okay, then let's keep this going. Now I've proved to myself I can run for 30 minutes without walking. I need to do 10K. And some friends were doing the Leicester 10K, which was in September. So I was like, right, well, go in for that. And then did 10K. I didn't run it all. And that's when in the 5K to 10K training, I sort of encountered that this was more of a mental issue than a body issue. And it would have been really easy for me to sort of say, I can't do this because I've had cancer, and that's clearly why my body is unfit. When in reality, I know from my past, I have tried to run 5Ks before in my late 20s and encountered exactly the same problems. So this was no different to then. The cancer isn't what made my body unfit. My lifestyle is what made my body unfit, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. We know you're running the London Marathon for Leicester's, the hospital that helped you out.
Yeah.
What do they do, or how do they help? Because having not been through it, I don't understand fully what they'll do at the point from understanding you've got cancer and how they're helping you to get through it. What sort of stuff do they do?
With me, mine was breast cancer, so I had the breast care unit who did all your sort of scans, and you had your consultant there who would then do your surgery. You then go through your chemo, so you've got an oncologist, which is at another hospital, because Leicester's got 3 hospitals. And then you've got your radiotherapy team who deal with all that side of it. But once you've finished radio, you sort of say goodbye to them. They're gone. Once you've finished chemo, your oncologist is gone. And then you're just left with the breast care unit who do your checkups, your mammograms, and your consultant checks you for post-surgery. So the Leicester Hospitals charity covers all 3 of the hospitals in Leicester. And they've got, I think, about 10 runners running the marathon for them. And you can pick where your money goes that you've raised. So for every penny I raise will go back to the breast care unit.
Are you doing okay on the fundraising so far?
Yeah, I'm about over halfway. I've got an event next week which should hopefully push up to near my target. But as I was saying on my Instagram, if everyone could just give me £1, that's more than appreciated. I know it's so difficult and that's the bad thing with fundraising, is that you feel like you're like, pay me for doing something that I want to do. You should feel bad because you're not doing it and I am. So please give me some money. And nobody's got, wealth to sort of hand over these days. It's so expensive. Everything about life is expensive now. So why would people have this, money to just give away to people for running? But £1 from anyone that's inspired or, knows somebody that's had breast cancer would be enough.
Yeah, well, this is the shocking thing is we all seem to know someone, don't we? I know I'm quite ignorant in it all, and a lot of us are, I think, until you experience it in your family. And like, you are a very similar age to me and my wife. You've got kids the same age as me, and when I hear a story like yours, I'm like, well, it just reinforces the kind of thought about what can you do to help and be prepared. And these people like the Leicester Hospitals charity that are putting us in a position to be able to help you. Could you explain, like, how your life would have changed the day before you knew and then the day after, and how everything has just changed? Can you sum it up?
Really weird. Like the sort of weekend before I found my lump, I was on a friend's 30th in Rome, living it up, having a wonderful time. Came home, still on the sort of high from that. Like I say, randomly in the shower, felt a lump and thought, get it checked. Put it off for a weekend and forgot about it. And, knowing now what I know now, if I hadn't have gone at that time, I potentially couldn't be sat here now, because my cancer was a grade 3, which is the most aggressive type. So I caught it so early that it hadn't had a chance to go anywhere else. It's when cancers start spreading beyond their sort of primary place that you start losing your options and things. So knowing that now, just my attitude to life has changed. I don't care as much about things in what people think, in wanting to do things, there's the fear that you sometimes have that holds you back in life has gone. Now I sort of think nothing can really faze me. And like I would go back to the chemo, this is where I also used to write in my chemo diary. I used to do a list of things that I'd rather do chemo than something. So for me, it was like, I'd rather do chemo than running. I'd rather do chemo than camping. I'd rather do chemo than emptying a potty of poo. Just stupid things that were realistic. And now it's like, I'd rather run than have chemo. So just changing your sort of views on and thoughts and mind process, you just do get that sort of, forget it, I'm just doing it, and life's too short. which is really cliched to
Mm.
say. You just do. You just don't care anymore. You're not afraid of anything.
So on the day in London, when you get there and you get to the finish line, that's going to be what's going through your head. You know, almost like there's a part of me that said I couldn't do this, but I'm here today showing that I can.
Yeah.
And that's almost like you just said, your new attitude of, I'll blow it, I'm going to go for it.
Still walk around and run round, and I'm thinking, ugh, this is hard. And I'm not like full of the joys, like, whoa, this is wonderful, amazing running. I still am the person that's like, don't talk to me. I'm running. Don't even try and have a conversation with me because it's still hard work for me. But I do just think of people that may have, died on the way to this journey and think, they're there, they'll get me through, and it's all good.
But when you do it, it's going to be amazing. Everyone says London's one of the most supportive type marathons and best environments you can be in. I've not done it. I've not had the joy of doing it, but it looks like you're going to have a great day and everything's going to be great and you'll raise all the money.
Just hope it's not as warm as it was last year.
It was a steamer last year, wasn't it?
Last year, and I get too hot as it is. So
And you're
yeah,
training in the winter, so it's like one of my other clients who did it said about that last year, that they're training in the cold, they're used to the cold, and all of a sudden you're hit with this random day that we don't get often in England.
and that's the thing with England is that you just can't predict it. You just don't know if it's going to be a blooming scorcher or like it is now, windy, rainy, blowing a gale, or snowing or something. So
Yeah.
how to prepare?
You're going to have to tell the hubby you need to go to Spain for a training camp if he hasn't done it already.
We're going to Florida for Christmas.
Are you? Yes.
Yeah, no more holidays, unfortunately.
That's wicked. Well, I'm assuming with the kids as well, the boys.
Yeah, I would love to go kid free, but no, we're taking them. Can't be selfish and not take
Oh,
them.
good on you, good on you. So you're going to do it. The running's happening. It's not long. Um, we'll obviously be watching on the day to see how you've done it. The training you've kind of summed up for me, and that I can see you went from. Let's just take someone who was going from zero to marathon. You've gone couch to 5K app. Did you actually follow someone's training plan, or did you choose someone's before?
I bought a couple of books. So Julie Creffield's book, The Fat Girl's Guide to Running a Marathon, I thought was really good. Even if someone, if you don't consider yourself to be fat, I would recommend it because the language and the way she talks um, is more about your own self belief and knowing you can do it than actually the fact that you're overweight or whatever. So that's a really good book. And I was recommended Hal Higdon, if you've heard of him. His website's really good for sort of doing various stages of marathon training and depending on your experience of running. And other than that, I've found people on Instagram that sort of inspire me. James, the Morning Coffee Run, is like my little running mentor, and he's got a group of us together where we all discuss it on a little Instagram group. And that's really helpful because we're all doing different things, we're all at different stages, we're all having problems, different problems, and it's more of a sort of safe space to sort of vent a little bit about it and say what we have and haven't done and support each other. So yeah, it's
Good on you.
I've taken bits of everything.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, you become as a result of absorbing the information more relaxed. You just want to be able to get there and enjoy it and know you've achieved it.
And it's not all about running either. I've sort of I had a PT for a little bit who sort of helped me with a bit of strength work. I do some stuff from him now at home. And I've been started doing Pilates since the start of the year. That I think has really helped. I think you sort of look over yoga and Pilates sometimes as a bit of a sit and do a lot of breathing, but you do realise the weaknesses in your body in areas that you hadn't even considered. So yeah,
Absolutely. Music to my ears hearing you say that. That's great.
no, I love my Pilates now.
Yeah. Do
And
you do?
nobody with Pilates has a bad body. That would be another thing I'd say
Oh,
for my. I've tried to get my husband to do it, and he's like, nah, 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 don't need to do that. I'll just like look at these bodies that come out from doing Pilates or instructing Pilates. They are like hot bodies. They must be doing something right.
and the it's the Six Nations this weekend. England rugby team do Pilates. Sport Noah Pilates is good. Tell your husband it's the foundations.
Yeah.
I've got Froga for Frank style yoga, but maybe I need a Frilates to man it up a bit.
Pilates. And there's someone around here now that does hit Pilates.
Oh.
So I'm going to go to one of his sessions, but I don't know how you do a hit workout with Pilates and it's hot at the same time. But yeah, it sounds good.
It's going to be tough. Well, good on you. So you've got a good rounded approach to your exercise. I'm fully confident you are in the shape you need to be. To sum it all up, you're an amazing lady, obviously. You are an inspiration. Now, I do encourage anyone to check your Instagram out and just have a read through. I spent ages reading your blogs and it's so interesting, and obviously your posts. And
I like to have fun on stories. You can hear the kids are coming now, but yeah, come and join me. Being that mum, it's lots of normal. You'll find something for everyone, I think. Come here, Henry. Come and say hello.
Come and say hello. Hello, Henry.
That's Frank.
The weird man in blue on the internet.
Yeah, he's running and exercise.
Thank you for talking to us today.
Okay, thank you for having me on.
There's lots to take away. We'll be watching you on. Can you remind us of the date of the London Marathon?
Sunday, the 28th of April, I believe.
The hottest day of the year.
No, don't. God. No.
No chance. Not 2 years in a row. No chance. Quick, get off. You've got to do the job now. See you later.
Having me.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye, Mommy. Bye.
You've been listening to the Fit with Frank podcast. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now so you can be first to be notified of new episodes released every week, where Frank dives deep, chats with some of the finest guests across the health and fitness industry, alongside inspiring stories from people just like you, so we can inspire and hopefully empower you to lead a happier, healthier lifestyle. Have fun.